Alright, this is recording, and we're going to try this, go through this time with sound. It's a pain in the butt to kind of do this on this machine. I've got Audacity running as well as the FreeCam Studio. It makes me huge files, which you then can post-process to make it a little bit smaller for delivery. I'm going to go just the basic linking out of the file and the cleaning up, the setting up of views, as we've talked about ad infinitum in many classes. We're going to start new here. We're at a structural plan here. Remember, in this case, you've got something set up already. Your levels are set up already. They kind of base your level 1, right click. You're going to duplicate the view, and you're going to duplicate and give it a name, level 1. You're going to rename it level 1 with CAD Link. And what we're going to do is we're going to be linking in the campus drawing here. Level 1 with CAD Link, you're going to go to Insert, and we're going to try to do a link. Eventually we'll be doing importing CAD, but we're going to link out to the CAD. We're going to link out to a document that you'll have available. I've got it, again, I'm doing this from home. I have to go to my computer. On the desktop, I think I had the drawing plans in that first one, in class Comp 1. I'm going to try AutoOrigin to Origin, see what that does, see how it brings it in here. We may have to then go ahead and change some things. In other words, you need to make sure that that didn't look too bad. It's just that our views, and of course we're here, so we're not too bad in terms of our. So we're going to zoom out. It's just that where our views were set up, we're going to have to move them around. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm just going to do this base here, because the goal then was, of course, we wanted to go and get some of the grids up. We wanted to get levels set up, and if you think about it, we're going to go back to this east drawing here, and we shouldn't see much. But we see our drawing way out, going all the way out in long directions here. So we're going to see if we can grab here, grab that, and see if we can pull it all the way across. Zoom out a little bit more, see if we can pull that all the way across. We've got a view all the way through all of our documentation. Pulling that all the way out beyond what we need. We'll do it to the other side as well. And we'll do the same to the level there as well. Okay, we've got a pretty large document. We're not going to do the whole thing, and one of the goals, of course, in Revit is that you can split things into smaller projects, but we're going to try to work with the campus information here, which is coming off a base map. Some of it's good, some of it's probably not as good as it could or would or should be, but for the most part we then have our levels all the way laid out. If we go back here to the east view, we probably won't see anything either. North view, right, we can start to see all these basics coming at us. I want to make sure that these levels are pulled out all the way so we can see them. This might be an example when you might be better off actually starting without your elevations set, bringing in that level view first off. So we're going to go to the link now back here in the AutoCAD, and what we want to get used to then is how to bring in our grid. This, of course, if this came in, this is locked to place because I had locked the origin. Understanding that the grids are the most important thing, so we're going to go ahead and just pull up for the T building, I guess this is here. We're going to go ahead and pull in those grids using the same numbering if we can. We're going to do that, of course, by just going home and going to grid, and this time we're just going to grab the element, and as we grab it right there, it's going to grab that out and it places it at 1. Now this is a great, if we grab the second one, it's numbering it to be 2, 3, we'll go all the way up through here, 4, 5. Zooming out, I got a terrible mouse. 6, 7, 8. And a grid here is as close to a coordinate system as you get within a building. On a bridge, you'll have very important lines that you're going to want to be staking off of. Those would typically be the abutments and the piers. And I've got 12 all the way through there. Now I'm going to go down and start again down here, but right away as soon as I do one, we're going to go ahead and change the numbers. So right now, if we want to go ahead, we're going to go and put one in, and then we're going to renumber it. I'm zooming out here, zooming back in with a terrible, terrible mouse. And we're going to go ahead. This time we're going to grab, once again, we're going to grab that, but this time we'll hit cancel, and we'll go to this at this point. Oh. That one there is now a grid line. We're going to modify its properties there. Now if we go back here, that grid line was not taken yet, so we're going to go back once again to grid home. We're going to grid that. We're going to modify back to home, grid, grab that particular object, and it does make it. And hit cancel here. Element properties. What we want to do is make sure that we number it correctly the first time. So we'll try this one more time. And we'll go ahead and try another one. At that point we could probably hit cancel. And this one now we can modify its properties. The properties for that, element properties, we want that to be actually A. And this one here, we like it to be B. And our hope now is that this next one will go in correctly, so we'll try it this time. We're now going to go ahead once again. We're going to go to home. Go to home. Grid. We're grabbing an object from another one. Hopefully that puts that into C. D, you see, was somehow offset. There's D. Going back to here. And finally that final one, which is E. Now, some of the settings where it laid it out might not be the same, but we have what we need. Hopefully we've got that. Now, one thing we can do right away is learn why we use views so much. We can go VV here, and in this view, obviously we've gone ahead and we've included the drawing, but by clicking that off, all of a sudden we get to that point where things are a lot clearer. So that sense here of eventually going in next and doing some column, some walls, everything else, once you get the grid in, you're going to be generally okay. We're going to go back here once again to there. Remember, VG is the thing that's really going to control. If we are here, we're going to leave that on, hit apply, okay. But when we go back to our level 1 plan, it may or may not be. We might want our level 1 plan, we might want not to have that on. We might say VV. And for level 1, we do not want those on. And so when we look at level 1, as opposed to level 1 with CAD, you see the two are different. So that's how we'll go about importing a grid. Then of course you can start importing, putting in different elevations, etc. We'll go back to this east side here and see how we're doing on our, now you can see where our grid is there, where it's laid out. So it's down. If you think about it, that building runs around, there'll be other ones. We're looking at this from the east elevation, which is actually the north elevation, if you would think about it. From the north elevation there. And so in this case, we're talking about building north and building east and building west. So that's it for now. I'm going to go ahead and print this one out. I'm trying to get these off of the laptop and through some other medium so you can get them, hopefully YouTube, but it may be something else. Thanks for listening.